Good morning, everybody. Silas back today. We are off on another adventure made from scratch. If you've been following the series, you know that the pile out back is gone. All of those cars have been crushed. I started crushing cars along the sides of the roads. I got a bunch of those crushed, but kind of what I want to start working on now is back here behind me. I'll give you a quick rundown before we get started, but I've got all these cars in here. Now, these old cars, I'm not crushing those yet. There's a couple newer ones mixed in here that I'll be crushing. But like this Thunderbird, not crushing it. But up in here, I've got this pile of cars over here that are pretty well ready to crush except for aluminum wheels. And even those, a lot of the aluminum wheels at the very back of that pile are already off. So I want to crush out all of that. And then I've got a bunch of cars in these rows right here. All the way over there, you see that bus, the top of that bus. You can kind of see all the way over there behind my little mail trucks I have. There's a bunch of cars over there. And all back through these trees, there's a bunch of late model cars. Now, I've told the story multiple times before, but I always have new people watching these videos. So I just want to explain it real quickly one more time, is that a lot of these cars in here were here when I bought the property. There's not a lot of these. The ones behind me, those are all recent additions. But up here in front of me, all of these were actually still here. These rows right here. Looks like we got some Dakotas, and then we got all these Durangos right here. All of these vehicles, anything with a black number on it, was here when I bought the property. What happened was my dad came out here and bought 150 cars, I think, and so he went through and numbered them all. It was 140, 150, something like that. And the guy that had the property said, well, you should just buy the whole place. My dad says, well, I don't need the whole place, and he told me about it. So I said, well, I want the place. I've dreamed of owning a place like that forever. So I came out here and looked it over, and I ended up buying the property. And since I bought the property, my dad didn't have to hustle and get these cars out of here, so they've been sitting here ever since. Now, when I first bought the place, we did come in here and crush out a ton of them. I think there was only about 50 left of that original 150. After that, I came in here and I filled up quite a bit of cars in here, and then we shipped out probably another 200 cars or so for scrap about a year and a half ago. I've owned this property for 2.5 years now. And then in the last year and a half, no cars have left this property, hardly at all. A few have left, and a bunch of antique ones have left, but no scrap cars have left this property. So for the last year and a half, they've been accumulating, and I came out here and did an inventory, and there's about 400 scrap cars that have accumulated in the last year and a half. And that was without trying. That was actively trying not to bring scrap cars out here. Still accumulated that many out here. What happens is I would be out here processing antique cars or getting a load for Terry or Dylan or one of the guys that deals with me, and I'll be out here anyway. Somebody will call with a car for sale, and I don't want to lose the car, so I tell them just go ahead and bring it out here. And so that's what's happened. Altogether, before I brought the crusher out here, there were around, I can't remember now. I think it was a little over 800 cars out here, something like that. But I think we're somewhere around 700 cars in here right now. So I've crushed well over 200 cars, and we've only eliminated about 100 cars because I've brought so many in. But really what I want to do is I want to get rid of all the late model stuff, get rid of all the scrap out of here, and have nothing but antique cars out here. Well, that's nice. There we go. I didn't have much glue left in that tube, so wasn't able to get a whole lot on there, but it was a good plug, good and sticky, so I think it'll hold. I'm sure I'll pick up another nail at some point in time. I hate having to come out and fix a tire for one nail hole like that. Nice, clean, smooth nail hole, just because it costs $250, $300 for them to come out, take it off and boot it. So if I wait till I have 2 or 3 leaks in the tire or plugs or something like that, then I can have them come out, take it off, and it still costs the same price to fix a bunch of leaks. Now that was a fun challenge, getting that 223 6-cylinder in the back of that Escape. That was a tight fit and that was stressful. But we got it in there, and as long as he doesn't slam on his gas pedal and roll it through the back window, it'll be fine. I have no clue how he's gonna unload it, but I guess that's his problem, not mine. There we go. Today was a crazy busy day. Got a lot done though. Didn't even start the crusher. I was like, you know what? All the cars that I have are scattered helter-skelter all over the place. Some of them have manifold converters I still have to pull off. A couple of them just had regular converters. I don't know how I missed those. I usually try to pull the easy converters off as fast as the cars come in so they don't I just about tripped. Rock sticking out of the dirt. But anyway, I usually try to pull the easy converters off as fast as they come in so they don't run away on me. But anyway, I have about 25 vehicles, 25 or 30, and maybe more than that, I don't really know, I didn't really count, stacked up around the crusher, ready to go. That way tomorrow I can fire it up and I can just smash them all really quick. I'll also be loading trucks tomorrow, and then Sean's coming, Jason will be back tomorrow, and we're gonna cut up that 53 Cadillac, cut up the 53 or 4, whatever it was, Packard, and cut up another truck. A bunch of stuff needs cut up. I just haven't had time to get it all done, so that way when Sean's here and Jason's here, they can work on that tomorrow while I'm loading trucks and crushing cars. When I was a kid, I had a salvage yard under my bed. I had a little tiny bedroom, little itty bitty thing, so I didn't have room really to play with toys anywhere, so I had my junkyard under my bed, and I would work and work and work for months buying cars at auctions and stuff like that, and hauling them in and unloading them and lining them up. And one of my most favorite memories that I loved to do when I was a kid was every now and then it would be time to crush the cars, and I'd bring the crusher in there and clean house, and I'd say, I'm going to keep this one and this one and this one, but all the rest of these get rid of. And so then I'd crush them all, and boy, that was so much fun. And so I said all that to say this, that I am just having so much fun clearing out space out here that I wish prices would stay up, because I would crush a whole bunch more, like that Eagle back there and probably that little Datsun, that little AMC there. I'd probably crush all those, and I would just go to town crushing all sorts of stuff. But I do know prices are getting ready to drop, and so I'll probably barely be able to get all the late model stuff shipped. So there's really no reason for me to mess with crushing the old stuff. Here it goes.
There it is.
This don't weigh nothing.
Yeah, this doesn't weigh anything, does it?
There we go. Cadillac is done. The pieces definitely came out really cool though. This trunk and this nose. Definitely some good looking pieces. Nothing. This is where you need a loud firecracker. Throw it behind him while he's cutting.
One's got about a quarter of a
There we go. That's pretty cool right there. Now that's the perfect photo booth. Like, put something in there for people to sit on. That's perfect for that. Perfect display piece. And good morning. We are back out here today. Yesterday was just a busy, crazy day, but we got a lot done. Got the Cadillac done. Like I say, I sold the middle section of the Cadillac. We got the Packard done, got it cut up, and then I sold the middle section of the Packard as well. So both of those will be going to help many more cars live. And then we cut this tanker truck. I was a little bit worried about cutting the fuel tank, but it worked out. This very back tank was a little bit, something was in it. And we just went ahead and just real carefully cut one hole in it just to see what would happen with the lid open. There was no liquid in it, but it was damp. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, it kind of got hot and smoked a little bit, but it never did flame up. So got it cut off, and this piece turned out absolutely awesome. I know I just showed this to you, but I want to show it to you again because this is just, I don't know if I want to sell it. This is a really cool piece. I'm sure I will sell it eventually, but for the time being, I'm going to hang on to it. And when I do sell it, it's not going to be cheap. I mean, where else are you going to buy one of these? It's got the little glass reflectors on the back and on the side. I think if a guy put some new taillights in it, I think it'd look pretty sweet. It's got the old truck tag on it from Greeley County. That's the smallest county in Kansas. I can't remember what their population is, but I think in 1975 the population probably wasn't much higher than the tag number, so that may be one of the highest number tags they made that year. But anyway, this piece is pretty heavy. I can move it around pretty easy though because I've got equipment, but I think if a guy put some heavy casters on it, kind of cleaned it up a little bit on the backside, you could put it in a warehouse or something like that. You could roll it around just fine. Endless possibilities for this. I think it would make a really cool photo booth. This is actually Sean's idea. I'm not going to take credit for it, and I really like the idea, so I said, yeah, let's go ahead and cut that off there, because I wasn't going to cut it off originally. I was just going to pull the cab off, pull the motor off, and the front clip, obviously, and then go ahead and crush the rest of it. But I'm definitely glad he suggested that, because that came out really cool. We are going to go ahead and knock the cab off of this truck. It's a really nice cab. It's got a little bit of rust, but not bad at all. So if anybody's in the market for a 48, 49, 50 Ford cab, oh, this door doesn't open, that's right, but minimal rust in it, just a little bit of bubble rust here and there. I haven't checked the floors yet, but overall a very buildable cab, way above average. Nice solid Western Kansas cab. We'll go ahead and knock what's left of the front clip off, and we'll pull the motor out, and then the rest of it will be a crusher. Sean and Jason are coming out again today. They're going to work on finishing that tanker truck there, getting the cab off of it and the motor. And then we've got a 2000 something or another Chevy truck with a 6.0 in it that runs good. They're going to pull that motor out for me. So while they're doing that, I'm going to start crushing cars. Making progress back here. This is where those old slide-in campers were sitting. Those wadded up and fit in that dumpster pretty good, actually. So those are gone. Now I can get back in here, and I can finally get those vehicles out of here. But before I can do that, there's a bunch of just miscellaneous iron down here in the grass. There's just odds and ends stuff. There's a little bit of trash. What I'm going to do with this trash, these blocks and whatnot, is for now I'm just going to stack them up there in the trees out of the way. Then there's just odds and ends scrap laying around on the ground, so I set this car here so I can stuff it full of all that. I haven't crushed an old tank like that in quite a while. I think it'll crush fine, but I guess we'll find out together. There we go, got one last load finished. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I have 8 loads on the ground now, just in case they're able to get 4 each day that they haul next week. Just got these in. This is a 57 or 58 Cadillac. I'm not sure what year it is for sure. It's pretty stripped out, but it does still have the AC stuff on it. There's the tubes in the back window. And then check out the roof vents in this thing. Those are pretty sweet. All 4 of them are in there too. And then it has the ultronic eye or whatever it's called over there on the side. It's got some dash parts in it still. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, and it's got a lot of good chrome on it, but finding somebody that wants this 4-door chrome might be a challenge. I thought these were pretty neat, these little ribs right here. I thought if a guy took those off and put them on something different, that'd be pretty cool on an old hot rod or something like that. And then here's another Cadillac. I think this is a 63 or 4 or 2, somewhere in there. 62 or 3 maybe, I don't really know. I know it's not a 61 or older, and I know you can check the taillights sometimes, but the problem with checking the taillights is that sometimes they use the same taillight for multiple years. So it says 63, but 64 taillights might be the same. Especially on some of your newer cars, they'll use the same taillights for 3 or 4 years. And then sometimes I've seen it to where they make the taillights and they'll stamp them in 1 year, but they don't actually use them until the following year, so they're not accurate at all. But anyway, this car here is pretty well complete other than some chrome, and once again the interior is all gone. But it's got a lot of good parts on it still, and it is a 2-door hardtop, so I don't know. I think I have a guy wanting to buy this and the 58 or 57, whatever it is. I have a guy here to pick this thing up, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a hold of this, take it out there, and load it on his trailer. And with that, I am finally done for the day, and I am done with this video. And just a side note, no, I have not forgotten about the semi-trailers I bought at that auction and said I would go through. I have just been so incredibly busy, and that's going to take quite a bit of time to go through those trailers because they're all packed clear full. And so I haven't even been in them since the day I bought them. And even that day, I didn't go in them. I just glanced in the back door, and that was it. So I want to go through them too. I just don't have time to do it all. I'm only one person. And I have help sometimes I don't, but I still can't stay caught up. But I'm trying, and I have not forgotten. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Stay tuned. I got more going on next week. Not a whole lot. I won't be here every day next week, but a couple of days I will be here. I'm not sure what all is going to happen those days, so just stay tuned. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there, find an adventure. We'll see you on the next one.